Welcome back to our channel, where we share with you the most amazing stories that have happened in the neighbor disputes. So make sure to watch the whole video so you don't miss anything. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Today we will show you how they tried to evict black guy from his own apartment building. But before we start, here is a little disclaimer. This story is based on an anonymous story from Reddit, so all the characters' names were hidden for their privacy. In a world where color still matters, this story of racial discrimination against a black man by his white neighbors brings to light the ugly side of human behavior. Prepared to be amazed by the power of justice, as this black man outsmarted his bigoted neighbors and landlords in an epic revenge. The details are shocking, and the outcome is truly satisfying. It was one of those hot summer days in Texas when James, a successful black businessman, decided to take a stroll around his apartment building. He had recently moved into the upscale neighborhood and was eager to explore his surroundings. As he walked along the corridor, he noticed something peculiar. Several tenants were gathered outside their apartments, whispering and pointing at him. Curiosity piqued, James decided to approach them and inquire about the matter. To his astonishment, the tenants informed him that there was a cockroach infestation in the building and management had implemented pest control measures. However, they seemed reluctant to accept that fact. One tenant even went as far as to suggest that James, being a new resident, might be responsible for bringing the roaches with him. Outraged by the accusation, James couldn't help but express his disbelief. He had meticulously cleaned his apartment before moving in and saw no reason to believe that he was the source of the problem. The tenants, however, remained unconvinced, and their hostility only grew when James refused to cooperate with their unfounded accusations. Determined to get to the bottom of the issue, James decided to confront the building manager. He knocked on the manager's door, ready to discuss the situation calmly. But what he heard next left him speechless and filled with anger. The manager, instead of addressing the roach problem, informed James that he needed to vacate his apartment immediately. Citing a made-up clause in the lease agreement, James was stunned. He had chosen this apartment because it was pet-friendly, and there was no mention of roaches or any other pest infestations in his lease. Feeling betrayed and outraged, James knew he had to take action. He contacted a lawyer and began exploring his legal options. Determined to fight for his rights as a tenant, James was ungoing to let himself be intimidated or bullied by the building manager or his prejudiced neighbors. As James consulted with his lawyer, the situation took an unexpected turn. It came to light that the building manager had been illegally evicting tenants without just cause. Realizing that they had stumbled upon a pattern of misconduct, James and his lawyer decided to expose the manager's wrongdoings. They gathered evidence of other tenants' illegal evictions and reached out to local media outlets. The news of the building manager's illegal activities spread like wildfire, causing outrage within the community. People were shocked that such blatant disregard for tenants' rights could occur in their midst. The tenants rallied together, their anger growing with each passing day. They demanded accountability and justice for the mistreatment they had endured. The once quiet and seemingly harmonious community was now a battleground of conflicting emotions, exposing the darkness that had been concealed beneath its surface. As pressure mounted on the building management, they found themselves in a precarious position. The truth of their illegal actions could no longer be hidden, and the consequences loomed on the horizon. In a desperate attempt to save their reputation, the building management made a final offer to James, hoping to buy him out. They approached him with a settlement proposal, offering a substantial sum of money in exchange for him dropping his accusations against them. However, James was not easily swayed. He had already endured significant stress and emotional turmoil as a result of their actions, and he refused to be bought off so easily. James knew that accepting the settlement would not only validate their behavior, but also allow the building management to continue exploiting other tenants. He had a moral obligation to hold them accountable and prevent further abuse. Despite the financial temptation, James stood firm, rejecting their offer and demanding justice. His determination to expose their wrongdoing remained steadfast. Meanwhile, the tenants continued to organize, their voices echoing through the neighborhood. They had discovered strength in unity and were prepared to fight for their rights. The building management, faced with mounting pressure, knew they had to take drastic measures. They attempted to intimidate James, hoping to scare him into backing down, but their tactics only served to strengthen his resolve. James, with the support of his lawyer and the community, refused to be intimidated. He understood that this was a pivotal moment and he would not be deterred. As the conflict escalated, the truth began to unravel, revealing the building manager's true colors. Evidence of their illegal activities came to light, painting a clear picture of their exploitation and abuse of power. James, armed with this newfound evidence, continued to expose their wrongdoings, determined to bring them to justice. James and his lawyer presented the irrefutable evidence to the authorities, leaving no room for doubt or denial. The building manager, trapped in their web of lies and deceit, had finally met their match. The long arm of the law was about to catch up with them, ensuring that justice would be served. With the weight of the evidence against them, the building manager knew that their time was running out. The facade they had so carefully constructed was crumbling, revealing their true nature. The authorities moved swiftly, taking decisive action to hold the building manager accountable for their unlawful actions. As the full extent of their misconduct became known, the community united in outrage, demanding justice for the tenants who had been unjustly evicted. The once powerful building manager now faced the consequences of their actions, their reputation in tatters. James, standing tall amidst the chaos, had emerged as a symbol of hope and resilience. He had dared to challenge the oppressive system and in doing so, had empowered others to stand up for their own rights. The story of the Black landlord serves as a powerful reminder that color, race, and prejudice can never define a person's true character and strength. In a society where systemic biases persist, it is the courage of individuals like James that can dismantle the barriers of discrimination and pave the way for equality and justice. And that is the end of the story. If you like similar stories, then check out the next video, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching.